Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Dakota Lee Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan, you are here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant for alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing scheduled August 12th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming bond in the amount of $1,000. It is secured appearance, meaning you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral.
Right.
10% of $1,000 would be $100. So if you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates, and you are promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release.
I have a question.
Mr. Ryan, yes, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so I had the same thing happen last year where I violated, and I posted the bond. I went to all my court dates, and then they gave me this last deal. I was just curious if me attending those court dates stands to anything with, like, maybe lessening the bond at all, just a little bit.
Yeah, the issue, sir, is that you knew the consequences if you didn't comply with probation.
So it is a disagreement that me and the probation officer had that I was hoping to solve. I should have called her. See, I got picked up for a misdemeanor. I should have called her when I was in the back of the cop car because I got booked for the misdemeanor, got a bond, got to my bed. An hour after I got to my bunk here at the Watkins jail, they page-2'd me for the probation violation. So I should have called my probation officer in the back of the cop car to let her know I was under arrest. But I was just curious if you could possibly lower it to half, and I'll show up to all my court dates and do what I'm supposed to be doing. I have a job. I run a business, an auto glass business in Tonopah. I live on the county line, so it's kind of difficult for me to get transportation, but I know that me and my probation officer could work this out because she's pretty understanding.
Right. So what I'm seeing is that you were told to report on the 26th.
Yeah, in person, and that was in Avondale. I live in Tonopah, and I had no transportation. My vehicle just broke down. So I was asking her, I was like, is there another day can I report in person? And she said, yes, you need to report 7, and then she didn't complete the text message. And I said, did you mean to send another text message? I should have called her. I've gone through a couple different cell phones lately, so she was calling the wrong number. But I have been reaching out to her, talking to her.
Well,
I know.
Here, I'll tell you what, sir. I'll reduce the bond to $500. It's going to be added to your other bonds, because I think you were seeing earlier regarding other violations.
So that's where I'm confused. So
this was just one that was left off when you were seen on the other ones earlier. So
okay.
I'm reducing the bond to $500, but it's adding $500 to the other bonds that you have.
All right.
Okay. All right. Mr. Ryan, do you have any other questions?
No, thank you, man.
All right, thank you. All right, Dominic Regalado and then Naomi Jimenez will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Dominic Regalado.
Mr. Regalado. Mr. Regalado, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegation of 1 count of unlawful flight from law enforcement in a vehicle, which is a Class 5 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference August 9th at 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing August 13th, 8:31 a.m. That's at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am setting bond in the amount of $500. It is a secured appearance bond, meaning you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. It's less than $1,000. Some companies may not work with that number. I believe there are some that will. So if you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Mr. Regalado, do you have any questions?
Yes. Is there any other option? Because I work at windows and doors, like subcontracting through Home Depot, and I'm trying to get my apartment, and it was just really not the best timing last night. And
yeah, the tough thing here, sir, is you were driving on a suspended license. That's looking at a misdemeanor, but you chose to flee, which creates an extremely dangerous situation for officers and for the public, and turns it into a felony. So that's the issue, and why I think the $500 bond is appropriate is to protect the safety of the public.
All right. I have another question too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the only contact that I have that would like be able to even do anything is on my phone. And the officer that I had like asked to write the number down on a piece of paper, he had never given it to me, and so I don't have access to that phone number without my phone.
Okay. I'll tell you what, Mr. Regalado, what I will do is,
I'll do anything. It's just I don't know.
Mr. Regalado, I mean, let me ask you this. So, what should have happened
What do you mean?
last night?
I should have just pulled over and accepted it. I was just driving for my friend because he was drunk, and it was his car, and I don't know. It just everyone was yelling at me to keep going, and I really don't have anything to say, to be honest with you.
Okay. If you were in the situation again, would you stop?
Well, I probably wouldn't be in a vehicle with my suspended license. Like, the only reason I even did it was because the other two guys were too drunk.
Okay.
And I don't drink or smoke, so that's why I was trying to, like, say screw it.
Sure. I guess the question is, if you found yourself, I like the idea, don't even get behind the wheel, you got a suspended license. If somehow you found yourself in the situation, a police car attempts to pull you over, what would you do?
I'd normally just pull over.
Okay. So even if you had a suspended license, what would you do?
I pulled over before.
Okay. All right. Here's what I'll do then, Mr. Regalado. I will switch this to a supervised release with an ankle monitor. So that means you will be leaving here. It should be about 4 to 6 hours from now. It may not be till tomorrow morning. It just depends on when they're able to install the ankle monitor. So you don't need to pay a bond. Again, same conditions and restrictions of release. Your status conference is August 19th, 8:31 a.m. Preliminary hearing is August 22nd at 8:31 a.m. And I'm not asking the questions in any way to be disrespectful or rub this in at all. It's just really more of a situation where I'm just understand my job is to try to protect public safety. I mean, that's one of the main things that I have to do. And that's why I'm asking the questions, is simply that, is hoping to see that there is a realization of what's happened and what needs to be different next time.
No, I know, and I knew I screwed up. It was just so much stuff going through my head. I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I panicked, and it
right.
spiraled.
Well, and what I hope, Mr. Regalado, is that if you find yourself in another situation where it seems like you don't know what to do or something like that, you just stop.
Yeah.
That's my point with this, right? And I see this a lot, is people sort of double down. Well, I've got this problem, so I'm going to try to run from the police. Well, now it's a whole lot bigger of a problem.
Yeah.
So running from the police it's never a good answer. There's some people who get away with it in the immediate short term. Police have cameras everywhere, there's air units. People don't get away with it in the long term.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Regalado. Good luck to you. All right, Naomi Jimenez and then Andrea Martinez will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Naomi Sofia Jimenez.
Ms. Jimenez. Ms. Jimenez, you're here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant for alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing scheduled August 12th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse.
Okay.
I'm affirming bond in the amount of $150. It's a secured appearance bond. Technically, you can work with a bail bonding company. However, the amount's so low, I don't believe any will work with that number.
Okay.
I may be mistaken, but at either rate, if you pay $150 or a friend or family member does, that will allow you to be released.
Okay.
You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates, and you're promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release.
Okay.
Ms. Jimenez, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.